Hey guys, this is Casey and thank you for joining the channel. So today I'm going to be going over with you the direction of the SPY, everything that took place today, and where I think we may be headed based on the current market direction. So if you guys have followed my last video that I posted last Friday with my last market technical analysis, then you will know that I stated correctly that I thought today was going to be a green day. How did I know that? Well, I didn't exactly know that, but there was a high probability that it was going to be based on the fact that we had a major sell-off last Friday. Typically, the way that the markets work and the algorithms work in the stock market is when you have a major sell-off with a lot of fear, the majority of the time the algorithms and the hedge funds and the investment companies, they then step in and they buy up all of the shares that have been sold off. And that's exactly what happened today. So if you take a look here, we had a significant down day on a Friday. Went from 306 to 300. It bounced right off this $300 here off a moving average, and this is actually exactly where I was looking to enter in a position. Based on the current downtrend, based on the fact if you scale back here, 300 was a significant support level. You know, with the SPY, specifically with the SPY, because it's a ETF that covers a total amount of the stock market. You know, it's not like a regular stock to where to just blow through major support levels. It will almost always bounce off of support at least for a day or two before it'll then begin to roll over and fall through it. If you take a look here, you saw it hit the 300, bounced up, crawled over, hit the 300 again, bounced up. I'm expecting tomorrow to also be a green day, just based on the way that the futures are responding right now after hours. You know, maybe we go up here and, you know, who knows, 1-2%. But I am expecting tomorrow to be a green day, and then maybe we'll have some rollover for the remainder of the week. But if you were day trading today, you probably made a lot of money. So not only was the SPY up, but pretty much everything in the market was up today. If you take a look here, Apple was up, right? So, you know, Apple, I think, is overextended, but it's Apple. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's what does it do? It just goes up. You know, this is the safe haven stock that everyone runs to for, you know, for protection. The investors, hedge funds, everyone seems to run to Apple. And, you know, today was another indication of that. If you guys had my #1 dark horse stock on your radar, then you were watching BA, Boeing. So, as I told you guys a few videos ago, you know, I'm very transparent with my trades, what I do, because I want to make sure that I'm building up a trust and a subscriber base that understands and knows that I'm going to give you the no-filtered content, and I'm going to give you the complete honesty and transparency at all times. There's no point in creating fluff and whatnot. If I made money, I'm going to tell you, and if I didn't, I'll embarrassingly tell you that too. So, as I told you guys in one of my last videos, not the last one, but a few prior, I, you know, foolishly was up significantly, a little bit over $1,000 in Boeing, and I was like, okay, this is just easy money. I'm going to go ahead and try to buy momentum for another pop-up to this moving average here, and then I expect this to probably slam off, and that didn't happen. Went in huge, expected to gap up, got caught, got a little cocky, held onto the position, and I rode it down for quite a while and took a pretty good loss. But I was continuing to watch this stock because I know that towards the end of the month that they were expecting recertification, and I anticipated there to be a momentum play based on that, and that's exactly what happened today. So, as anticipated, the certification is in progress. The first flight of 3 scheduled for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday went off successfully. My understanding is that, the FAA and some other auditors put the Boeing Max 737 through extensive maneuvers, even maneuvers that they wouldn't normally do in a regular flight, and for obvious reasons. I mean, they've had just 2 absolutely ridiculous, unforgivable tragedies that's happened over a year and a half ago, and you just can't have that happen again. So, from what we can tell, everything went off well, and the market responded accordingly. The stock was up significantly, 14% today actually, just for that news alone. This is something that's been a long time coming, and so I've been watching the stock, and I actually made a couple $1,000s off the stock today, and I'm very pleased about it. And just taking a look here, I was seeing this 184 support, And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy, excuse me, a resistance. I'm going to go ahead and buy off this moving average support here. I think I bought like 184, somewhere around. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. So I saw it here. I saw the pullback. I bought on the second pullback because I anticipated a break of the 184. And I went in very significant position size, and I was expecting to take some on the next pop, but it was so strong that it never broke the moving average. And I said, okay, great. I'm just going to go ahead and stay in. And that's what I did. And I went ahead and just closed my position out at the end of the day. You know, when you're day trading and trading with a large position size, you know, it never hurts to take some money off the table when you're up. And so that's what I did today. If it gaps up tomorrow or runs up and this is a momentum play for the next couple of days, then great. I'll go ahead and get in tomorrow. I'll make some money. But to lock in some gains feels really good, particularly after taking a significant loss with it. But back to the markets. If we take a look here at the SPY, as you can see, you know, we are in a, I'm going to go, oh, where we go? There we go. Right, as you can see here, after we've had this significant run up, we've had this pull back to 300. It came back, it touched this 300, and then it's popped. Asking me, I think that we are still going to see another pullback, and I'll tell you why. We still have over 40 million Americans that are unemployed. We can all but guarantee that I think that the federal government is going to pass and approve a second stimulus package that is highly likely going to include not only additional stimulus checks, but is also going to extend the unemployment benefits up until I think July of 2021. Now, if that's the case, then why am I bearish? Well, for one, this significant bounce here is all federal government. That's why. The entire economy is not healthy right now. It's a lot of people that are unemployed, and at some point in time, this is going to have to give. The federal government is, you know, just has enormous power and control when it comes to monetary policy, and they basically said that they're going to continue to exercise that indefinitely, which is great. But how do you transition 40 million people back into the workforce? How do you plan for a second COVID-19 outbreak? You know, it's just there's so many things that are even beyond monetary policy that, you know, I think that it doesn't take much before we begin to see some pullback in this, just from a pure fear-based standpoint. You know, we've had a significant run up from the down, from the off the bottoms of 218 up to 324. We've still only had, I'd say not even 10% pullback yet, which is just absurd. And so, as you guys can see here, right now the market is sitting on all of the support levels, right? So you could pretty much tell if you were planning a bounce, this is the perfect entry point, and that's exactly what happened. I do anticipate maybe tomorrow is going to be well, I know that tomorrow is going to, the SPY is going to gap up just based on the futures, and whether it sells off or not, whether it does a little doji candle, not entirely sure. Tomorrow will tell. But I do think that we're going to go back here and test this 300 level again. And when we do, I do think it's going to break. And when it breaks, my target is going to be this 279.99 level. This is where I think we will bounce off again, right? So we'll get another, say, 5 to 10% wash. And then we may then have a continual run up, or we may trade a little flat. Who knows? But we absolutely, I think, are going to break this 300 support just because it's well overdue. So how do you play this? Well, from a day trading standpoint, you know, again, it's all about position size. You guys have to understand that 95% of day traders lose money. And the reason being is because they don't understand the importance of position sizing. This is something that I didn't understand until many years with day trading and spending money. I'll call it my education with losing money in the stock market, and that I finally began to understand position sizing. And the reason that's so important is because when you're day trading, it's all about percentages. So you could have even less than a 50% win ratio, excuse me. But if you're controlling your losses, okay, the market goes against you, you cut the loss really quickly, great. You try it again, it goes against you, cut the loss really quickly, great. And you try it again, and you finally catch it, and then you catch the wave. Well, you have a 33% win ratio at that point. But because you kill your losses and you let your winners run, then you know you're very more than likely to do very well. Now, from an investing standpoint, you know, I'm always a big believer that time in the market is much more important than timing the market. And the reason being is because I can't tell you how many times I've lost money trying to time the market. I had planned on actually purchasing Apple back when we were having the initial COVID scare, and I anticipated buying it off of the weekly 200, because I said, well, a few months back we had the tariff scare, and Apple at that time went all the way down to the weekly. So I said it's going to have to do that again. Oh, that's not Apple. Let's try the other. Hey, there we go. And I said, okay, well, it's going to hit that weekly, and it did not. That did not happen. It hit the weekly here, and I saw this, and I was like, you know what? I know probably should just go ahead and start timing this a little bit. Try to hit this, because it has to touch this again based on the situations. We're all on lockdown. We got this virus spread now. Everybody's unemployed. People are panicking. I mean, this is like a World War III almost. This is definitely going to touch the 200 weekly. Didn't touch it. So because of that, time in the market is more important than time in the market. So did I buy some Apple out for that? Yes, I did still buy some Apple, but not off of the supports that I wanted to. And that's why I think that if you guys are in an investing strategy, purchasing Apple now isn't a big deal, right? It's not a bad purchase. If is it at all-time highs? Yes, it is. But is it still maintaining the trend? Yes. Could we still maybe go up another 5% or so? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that we will? I don't know, right? I mean, it's so hard to tell when a stock is actually trending upward, especially on the weekly, especially when you have the federal government backing you, and especially when it's Apple, that as of right now, it's still an upward trend. Tweety bird. It's an upward trend. There we go. And so, there's no telling when we're going to actually have this pullback. I think that it's going to come a little sooner than later. But from an investment standpoint, there's no harm and foul in going ahead and investing now. Now, if you guys are going to wait for a pullback before you enter in, and if this is from a trading or even investing standpoint, as you can see here on the weekly, I've went ahead and charted out the first significant support level with Apple, which is 329.48. This is where the safest entry point is if you're going to wait for a pullback, if you are afraid of getting caught at the very, very top and then getting it to dump out. So smart traders, investors, hedge fund managers, anyone who is astute with purchasing stocks, hell, even relatively smart individual investors, right? I mean, you buy stocks when they fall down. You don't buy them when they're just running, unless you think they're going to continue to run and you don't mind getting caught on the pullback. So if you guys are looking to purchase some Apple, wait until you get to the 326 level, somewhere around here. It's going to pull back. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, who knows? But that's definitely not a bad entry point. And as you can tell here, that's in that 327 range. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Like I said, today was a great day in terms of trading the markets and investing. It was phenomenal. Just taking a look at the overall weekly on the SPY. It looks like it's starting to trend sideways a little bit. At least it has for the past 3 weeks. So could we continue to trend sideways? Sure, why not? But I do think that we're going to have some pullback, and there's no telling when that happens. Oh, I want to leave you guys with a bonus if you guys have gotten this far, and if you have, thank you so much for watching the video, and I highly recommend that you guys subscribe and like the video if you haven't already to the channel. Also, the video that I made Friday as well, I talked about Facebook, and I told you guys, if you remember, that Facebook was significantly pulling back. I told you guys that I thought that the pullback was overly severe based on the current news with hiccups here, based on the current news with the advertisers pulling out, which is a very important thing. But it fell too low too fast. And so I looked at this and I said, as I told you guys Friday, I thought we were going to see a bounce based on the 300 on the SPY, based on Facebook being oversold, and that's exactly what happened. If you guys went ahead and bought from the open today, you would have seen a nice gain here. I'm expecting tomorrow to pop up a little green, maybe go a little bit of red, who knows. Now, did I purchase some Facebook? Yes, I purchased a little bit right out of the open once I saw that the markets were turning green right after that initial morning dump. Now, am I going to invest in Facebook right now? It doesn't hurt at all. I have a few $1,000s in Facebook at the current prices down here, and I think it's a good entry point. If it begins to roll over to the $200 range, then I will go ahead and add more. but this really is all going to depend on the overall direction of the market. You guys have to remember that with tech stocks, they're super strong. They always lead the sectors. However, because they always lead the sectors, and because they're such a big part of the SPY, that as the economy goes, as tech goes, the economy goes. And so I'm going to keep an eye out actually on the SPY as a whole to see when the markets continue to start to roll over, and then we get a significant pullback when and wherever that is. And then when that begins to occur, when Facebook then starts to pull back here, that's when I think it'll be a really, really good entry point. But guys, just stay on your toes. Just understand that although we had a really good day today, I fully expected this bounce. It does not mean that we're not going to still roll over and touch this 200 support level for Facebook, and maybe even go lower. Who knows what news is going to come out. The COVID-19 thing is getting still ridiculous. Infection rates are still up. There's some talk about it possibly mutating, or who knows what. So just stay very diligent. Tongue-tied today, guys. I don't know why. I need to get some water. Make sure that you stay very diligent in your trading and also in your investing. Make sure that you're following very, very good position sizing, that you're not dealing a lot into the FOMO. And if you are dealing into the FOMO, make sure that you're managing your risk so that you don't get caught in a dump and then we're sitting there stuck holding the bag. So thank you guys so much if you got to the end of the video. I really hope this content was valuable. I do put a lot of time into ensuring that I give you guys very clear and to the point and concise content, particularly with not only the trading. That is my cat Samba in the background, and I'm going to leave that into the video. And she's just trying to get into the bedroom. I'll shut the door on her. But I do put a lot of time into giving you guys very clear and concise content and ensuring that you guys have you understand clearly where I am and what my thoughts are, anticipations for the markets. So thanks so much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the comment as well. Let me know what you guys think about not only the video but the direction of the markets, and keep winning. Take care.